Hi there, I'm Kelley Norton. I'm your AZ Realty lady. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm a Valley native and a real estate agent of 20 plus years. And I figured today that I would come on here and give you an idea of what it's like moving to the Phoenix area from the perspective of people that aren't a Valley native. I figure, the things that I know about the Valley are things that I've been used to my entire life. So I decided to kind of interview my clients and ask them what they love or hate about their move to Phoenix and the surrounding areas. I have people living in Buckeye and Gilbert and Peoria and Mesa, Chandler, Gilbert, Casa Grande. I mean, all over the place. So this will really give you a feel if you're relocating what to really think about and the perspective of coming from different climates and just what to expect. So without further ado, let's get after it. Hi, I'm Kelley Norton, your AZ Realty lady at EXP Realty. Count on me for all things Arizona real estate. See, I only know Arizona as my home. So things that I'm used to, people moving here are definitely not used to those things. So I like to hear what it's like for people that are moving here. And one thing I want to tell you, it's saguaro, not saguaro. Anyway, so I have some notes here from some of the interviews that I've done, and I would love to share these with you just to give you a feel of what it's like relocating to the Phoenix area. All right, so first one was a comment from one of my clients that moved here from the East Coast. And all I kept hearing her say was, oh my gosh, we could go to jail if we go over 20 miles an hour. I can't believe there's criminal speeding tickets here. Yes, so if you go over 20 miles per hour, that's considered a criminal speeding ticket. So, I mean, I don't have experience with that. No, so I have heard that a lot of times they'll bump it down unless you are being really reckless, but you really just want to kind of keep it under 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. If you're going much over, they'll certainly pull you over. But yeah, if you're going over 20 miles per hour, it is considered a criminal ticket. And it's something that I've just grown up with, and I'm used to knowing that rule. But for areas where apparently they speed a lot, my East Coasters, they really, this was a huge topic of conversation for them. So just want to make sure that you're aware of that. Another client actually from East Coast, she's from, her and her family are from northern New York, upstate New York, I guess is what you say. So she said that the health care that they had in upstate New York, they always felt like when they took their kids into the hospital, or the doctors, that it was a situation where they would just kind of send them home and make them figure out what's wrong over time just by sitting at home, really doing nothing to investigate and figure out what's wrong with their kids. So here, she said she feels like, yeah, they're in Buckeye. So in the West Valley doctors that they've been to and the hospitals where she gave birth to her second child, she really feels like the healthcare has been a completely different experience. And anytime that there was an illness or something that just wasn't quite adding up with the way that they felt that they or their kids were feeling, they really tried to find out what was wrong. And I love hearing that because I only know our healthcare here. And you'll hear stories of some places that are better than others, but it's great to know that comparing from where she came to our healthcare here, that this is something that she really is very, very pleased with thus far. So that's great news. So healthcare could be something here to compare to where you're coming from as well. All right, another one would be no toll roads. So now, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. My client just said one of the differences was no toll roads. So yeah, we don't have toll roads here. We have an HOV lane. So you would need to use that if had two or more people. You can also use that if you have the like a Tesla all electric car. You can also use those, and those go from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then in the morning is 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So that's when you can use that lane. And almost all of the highways here, or the freeways, if you will, that are within the city, those have those HOV lanes. One of my clients that moved here from California said um, that if she felt like in San Diego that nobody was friendly, nobody talked to each other. It wasn't that kind of community atmosphere. And she said that right when she moved in, she got a cookie basket from her neighbors and was truly feeling like a sense of community right away. So that was a really big difference for her. And I grew up that way here. You know, we had neighbors that as a young kid, I think I was 11 or 12 years old, and I had taken a home economics class, and I started making pizzas for the neighborhood, and they would start paying me for pizzas. So I started this little entrepreneurship very young. So I started selling pizzas to the neighbors, and we just all felt like we were family, the whole neighborhood. And so that's how I grew up, and I grew up here in North Phoenix. So I'm glad to see that there's still neighborhoods that are doing that. I've lived in some neighborhoods where it wasn't like that, and some that still are. So a lot of these communities will even have like food truck night. A lot of them will have farmers markets. So a lot of these master plan communities where there's a homeowners association really try to bring the community together. So you'll find more of it in communities like that as well. Some of these communities that have the big master plan and have all of these events would be in Mesa would be Eastmark and Cadence. And I'm not going to be able to mention all of them, but I'll touch on a few of them. In Goodyear, you have Estrella Mountain Ranch. In Buckeye, Verado definitely has events like this. And in Peoria, Vistancia is another one. Aviano in Scottsdale and North Phoenix area. DC Ranch. I mean, a lot of these, that's in Scottsdale. A lot of these communities will really try and make an effort to bring everyone together and have these kinds of events. So it's great too, after COVID, to see that people are starting to come together again. Let's see, here's another one. So this is from one of my clients that is from the Seattle area. This is pretty funny. I never thought of this. So pet owner, okay, coming from a very moist climate, and comes here to Arizona, and they said, this is funny, guys. So she says, I love that you can pick up the dog's beep. Okay, we'll call it a turd. And it stays like a little cute nugget. Instead, instead of an inflated pile of crummy dog poop that's impossible to clean it all up. So I never thought that dog poop would really be an issue for people, but I guess it makes sense, right? Coming from a moist climate and with the rain and the moisture constantly, by the time you get out there, even after the rain, now you have this bigger mess. Where here, it's pretty much you're going to have the perfect little nugget dog poop, no matter when it is. So let's see another one here. Gorgeous sunsets. Yes, we have amazing sunsets. Even the sunrises are beautiful here. So I had someone say, are they like this all year round? We have sunsets that are gorgeous most of the year. I have noticed, though, the last couple years, October and December has had stunning, stunning sunsets. Just really, really beautiful. So this one was a downside. They're used to bars staying open later. So they said 2 a.m. for the bars. Could it be open? Can it be open longer? So our bars do close at 2 a.m. I had another client, let's see here, from Utah, and they said they like that we aren't a dry state. So yes, you can buy alcohol here, and you can buy alcohol on a Sunday here as well. And you don't have to go just to a liquor shop. You can actually get your alcohol in the grocery store, or at a liquor store too. So there's that flexibility as well. Someone said, I love that you have casinos. Yes, we have casinos here. We have several now. There's even a new one that's being built, planned to be built out in the Surprise area. So they've got them in Glendale, Scottsdale. You have them out in the Southeast Valley, even northern Arizona. There's several casinos. So you don't have to go to Vegas to get to the casinos. So, so we do have the casinos. So that's a great thing as well. Someone said, I love how easy it is to drive here. That's true. We have kind of a grid system with driving. So you can pretty much get anywhere, even if the freeway is closed, because all the roads are like a grid. So unless you're in Sun City and then it's a lot of circular roads, it can be a little more confusing. I used to be an ambulance driver way back before I was a full-time real estate agent, and I remember that I struggled in Sun City because all the streets are circles, but the rest of the valley is grids. So that certainly makes it very, very easy to get around if you can't take the highway. Because if it's closed, you can just hop off and take another road. For example, on the Loop 101 in the North Valley, you have the Loop 1 in the North Valley. If that's closed, then you can go up to Deer Valley, which is north of the freeway, or you can go south to Bell Road or Greenway. So there's several different options, and that'll go for miles. You can be on that for 20, 30 minutes and go all the way from Scottsdale on Bell Road all the way to Surprise. So you can be on that road for 40 minutes even. So definitely convenient to get around if you absolutely need to.
All right. So I had a couple responses come in. So I wanted to jump on here really quick and be able to give a little more information on some of the responses that I got from some of my other clients. So I'm going to go ahead and read these off my phone here. All right. So another one was amazing sunsets. We already had that. No humidity. So our weather is definitely something that brings people here for their holiday, for we call them snowbirds or winter visitors. So our weather is fabulous, and that's kind of a given, but we don't have that much humidity here. There's maybe 1 month out of the year, later in the summer, when we have our monsoon season, and we can get a little bit humid. But for me, it's humid. For somebody that's used to humidity like Florida, it's nothing. Okay, so this buyer or client, I should say, said that where they're from, there's no real destinations to take their motorcycles to. So out here, they said they can go on really beautiful rides and actually have places to take their bikes. So that was something that was really a big appeal. And actually, I've now helped, I think, 4 or 5 of them that of their friends that came from Minnesota. So having places to ride your motorcycles is certainly a draw for a lot of people. One of my other clients said that compared to where they lived, it's relatively easy to get a pistol out here compared to where they were from. So, and that was, I think they were from New York. So they said it was pretty difficult there. Okay, so one of my clients said that it's so darn dusty here. Yes, we are in the desert. We do get dust storms, and if you have your windows open a lot, you will end up with a little extra dust. So that is an unfortunate thing with Arizona, is that we are a little bit of a dustier climate. One of my clients said that they can have year-round work here. So where they were from, they had a lot of snow, and in the winter months, her husband worked outside and there was no work for him. So every year he would get laid off and have to take several months off of work. So our climate, again, has so many positives. And that's just another one where you can work year round, whether you're working inside or outside. And I know it seems difficult that with 110, 120 degrees to be working outside, but they start really early and they get off work earlier. So they still can get in a full day. And they, believe it or not, you get used to the heat. So I know it's hard to believe, but it does happen.
So this client said they like that there's options for different schools besides just the public school system. So there's tuition-free charter schools, then there's charter schools that do charge tuition. So you do have different options for schools. If you don't like the public school system, there are other schools that you can choose from. So certainly that's something that could be important to people if they have children that are in the education system. So I grew up going to the public school. We really didn't have many charter schools. It was only just a couple at the time. So I was in the Paradise Valley school system, and um, really public schools was all that we knew back then. But it was such a small kind of town back then. And now there's freeways that take you everywhere. You can drive from one side of town to the other and still be in the car an hour and a half later. So the valley has definitely grown. Um, still it's a big city, but within a lot of these little suburbs that you have, you get a little bit more of that small town feel. So if you want more information on different suburbs, I do have a video about the different suburbs. I also have community videos as well. Feel free also to comment here, and of course subscribe and like the page, and you'll be notified when I do new videos. But I hope that you found that helpful from a different point of view, because again, I'm a Valley native, so I only know what I know. And the people that are moving here are teaching me about other things. So I think it's great, and I wanted to just kind of share with you what it's like moving here if you're not, if you're not familiar with Arizona or you haven't been here or lived here before. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you again so much, and have a great day.